here before.
We have. All of us have. So many times and we didn't know it. Our moments fall around us like rain. Or snow. Or confetti. This room is like the heart of the house. No, not a heart, a stomach. It was your dance studio, Theo. It was my toy room.
Oh, okay.
It was a reading room for Mom. The game room for Steve. A family room for Shirley. The treehouse.
The treehouse. Oh my god.
But it was always the red room. Take your tea. Put on different faces so that we'd be still and quiet while it digested.
Where's Dad? Did he die? It looked like he died.
I don't know how to do this without you.
I learned a secret. There's no without. I am not gone. I'm scattered into so many pieces, sprinkled on your life like new snow. There's so much I want to say to you all.
I'm so sorry our last words were in anger.
They weren't our last. I'm sorry that I didn't answer the phone. But you did. So many times.
I'm sorry if I didn't listen, and I'm sorry.
Wouldn't have changed anything. I need you to know that. Forgiveness is warm. Like a tear on a cheek. Think of that and of me when you stand in the rain. I loved you completely. And you loved me the same. That's all. The rest is confetti.
She did her and Dad. So Dad's dead. Didn't she? Maybe I misheard her. Don't take that. I don't know what it is. Oh shit. Is Mom or wife to you? Oh no, this is Poppy.
Stay away.
He's just too cute, Liv. Away. Forgive a girl for being lonely. You're in here and the children are finally safe.
But no,
Don't go out there, please.
they're not. They're dying.
They're waking. You took them from me. You took them. And you hurt them, Hugh. And they suffered.
They did. They all do. And even if they're broken or addicted or joyless, or yes, even if they die, we have to watch it all because we're parents. And that's the deal we make. Whatever that life is, we bear witness.
It's a horror.
It doesn't have to be.
Nothing bad will ever touch them ever again.
Nothing good will either.
Is this really his wife? Or...
Open that door. I know you can open that door. Let them go.
I'll be alone again.
If you open that door right now, I will make a promise to you that I will keep forever.
Look. Stay awake. Stay with.
Start the car. Deep breathing.
Yeah. Come on.
There's one more thing your brother and I have to do here. We'll see you there.
What?
I'll meet you at the hospital.
Why does Steven have to stay?
Probably best you didn't say anything to them.
What?
Dad. What did I see?
He already dead. How would Steven have seen this?
What happened? Why are you here? Did you see? What happened?
I don't know. We were looking for...
Why are they there at night, though? They said they never come at night.
Why are you even here?
We need to get you help. We need to get the police.
Why are you here?
Our daughter snuck out of her bed tonight, and we thought maybe...
Also, was the Dudley's daughter.
No. No, no, no. 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 Oh, no.
I didn't know.
Mommy?
What happened? Who hurt you, baby girl?
But why would the Dudleys
gonna
stay
burn it.
on?
I'm gonna burn this house to the ground.
How come there was
salt the
never a
earth.
mention by the cops about...
You won't. Horace, he can't. She's still here.
Unless it was her body they were talking about and not the one in the walls like I thought.
I'll carry her body back to the woods, Olive. Bury her by the cottage in the garden that she loved. And when she's buried, and it's done, we'll say nothing. You understand, Hugh? We'll say nothing. We won't say anything about Olivia.
I won't.
This is just
That
messed
wasn't
up.
her.
We know that.
No, we know what really happened here tonight. And your kids, they don't need to hear anything else. Or remember their mother in any way but the way that she truly was.
If you keep this house, keep us on. Keep everyone else away. Don't let it take anyone else. Never again. This is where she is now. I'm her mother. I won't leave her here alone.
Please.
Okay, so it wasn't her body. The cops were talking about the ones in the wall because they hit her body. But how did Steven see this? This one, I'm confused about the whole Steven part of it. These are like the most understanding people I have ever seen.
You didn't tell your sisters what you saw. Why not? Some things can't be told. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
about him.
No.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Dad. This is all yours now. The house. And the promise. Take care of each other.
Dad?
And be kind to each other. If nothing else. I was so lucky to be your dad.
A marriage can be like a house. A marriage can be haunted. And I let that happen to us, and I'm so sorry, Lee.
You're scaring me.
I have something I have to tell you. But I need you to remember while I do that I love you. I'm asking you to love me hard for the next few minutes. And it might be the hardest that you've ever had to love me. But I know it'll be okay because it's us. I'm gonna jump, and I'm asking you to hold my hand while I'm falling.
I'm saying I built a wall around a big part of my life, and I hid behind that wall, and I thought that wall kept us both safe, but walls don't work that way. Walls never work that way.
What about these? Oh, trash.
If you ask me to, I will stay.
I think the truck's full. Is that everything?
Yeah, I'm ready.
If I go, I'm going shameless.
My only wish is to come home.
This house
Please.
quite the talker. creaks and moans.
I just want to fix this.
Fear is the relinquishment of logic, the willing relinquishing of reasonable patterns.
I will stay.
We're here. We're here. Clara.
But so, it seems, is love.
And the shame goes man, the shaking. Quiet the key.
The willing relinquishing of reasonable patterns.
Quiet the keeper.
We yield to it, or we fight it, but we cannot meet it halfway. Hill House, not sane, stands against its hills holding darkness within. Within, walls continue upright, bricks meet neatly, floors are firm, and doors are sensibly shut. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House.
If I go, I'm going crazy.
And those who walk there
Let my darling take me there.
walk together.
Okay, guys, so that was the end of The Haunting of Hill House, and I'm sorry I didn't say a lot. I was trying to figure out what was going on, like the big story, and I don't know what happened, really. Like the deeper meaning that I'm sure a lot of people figured out, I'm not getting. I'm not. It was an excellent episode, and it seemed to fly by like really fast. It was like an hour and 11 minutes or something long. It didn't feel like it was that long. I felt like it was like 20 minutes. But it's just really confusing on what happened. Like, it was nice. Okay, so basically the father died and stayed with the mom and Nell, and everybody else lived. Luke barely. Somehow, I understand how the rat poison might have been there, but the needle, where'd that come from? But somehow he was injected. I'm assuming that somehow they had him inject himself, or maybe they did it for him, because they seem to be able to touch you, so I'm assuming maybe they must have done it while he was distracted in his little dream world where he was with his friend, and she was taking drugs and tried to get him to do it, and he refused, and she's like, you already did. And then you had Steven, who at that moment saw Luke in the red room lying on the floor, and then he went into the room and the door shut and locked the dad out, and then the dad got consumed or something. I'm not really sure what happened to him. I think he died in that moment. But yeah, and then the girls show up and they hear the dad yell for them, which wasn't their dad, and Poppy kept knocking everybody out. It was Poppy. Poppy grabbed Luke, and that's how he ended up where he was. And then Steven, when he went into the room, Poppy touched him, and he blacked out and had his little dream world with his wife and her being pregnant and him writing a second book to Hill House and all that stuff. And then the girls also got knocked out by Poppy. First it was Theo, I think. I can't remember how she got knocked out. I know I just literally just watched it, but I don't remember. And then Shirley had her whole little dream world. I guess she must have gotten knocked out too. I didn't see. Maybe it was her. I don't know. Anyway, they all had like their little dream worlds that they had to go through before they all came back together into reality of what was going on inside of the house. And like Luke had his friend, Steven had his future, where he's back with his wife and they were expecting. And then Shirley had hers where she had to deal with the fact that she cheated on her husband, which I had already said episodes ago that I thought that guy was not a ghost, and maybe it was someone she cheated with, because it just looked like someone you meet at a bar, you know, with the glass and all that. And I didn't know that was James Lafferty. I love One Tree Hill, and I just didn't recognize him because he's so much older and he just looks so different. But yeah, so that was kind of a thrill for me to see him, because I just I didn't know that was him, and knowing that it is just changed it for me. But yeah, anyway, so I was right about the cheating, which was just really weird. And it was just, you know, she was like this whole time like on her moral high horse, and here she was doing something that was so morally wrong, cheating on her husband that way. So yeah. Anyway, so she went through that and having to deal with that she cheated, and she didn't even tell her husband or anything like that, and she's been acting like she hasn't done any wrong. And then Theo was dealing with her lover, which I can't remember her name either, but Trisha, is it Tracy? Trisha, I don't know. Anyway, they had like their talk, and I think she was telling a story of the guy that buried himself behind the walls, which I guess was the big tall ghost. I don't know. It was just really confusing. I didn't really get it. But anyway, in each of their little dreams, Nellie was there to bring them out. And so she was trying to help them. She told them they had to live. Especially, she was talking to Luke. And everything, and telling them that, you know, it still would have ended the same with her. Like, her death was inevitable, I guess, is what it sounded like. It's like it all would have still ended the same. And just letting everybody off the hook, it seemed to me. And so also a big twist for me was, now I've seen some other reactions from the previous episodes, and some people suspected that was Poppy's daughter, which is what I thought. And some people said that it was the housekeeper's daughter. And see, that's where it gets confusing, which it turned out to be the Dudley's daughter. But see, what confused me about that was when Liv showed up in the bedroom with the tea set to invite the kids for tea. When she saw Abigail in the bed, she's like, "Oh, you're Abigail." And Luke's like turned to Nell. He's like, "See, I told you she was real." That just led me to believe that Nell didn't see her. But then we saw Nell seeing her in, like, when they were having tea. So I don't know. It was just, that was confusing for me. So whatever. But anyway, so the Dudley's daughter died. Like, Liv killed her with the rat poison. But they didn't blame Hugh or Liv. And they were like the most understanding parents ever. They're like, "Our girl's still here, you know, so, you know, like, yeah, our body's dead, but, you know, she's still here, so I'm gonna stay here, and you just, like, we won't tell anybody about what happened, but you need to let us stay here, and you need to leave this house here." Because Hugh initially wanted to burn it to the ground. And, yeah, so that was just really messed up. I think it was messed up, personally. So yeah, it was just very confusing, this episode, but still a great episode, and I felt sad, and I did cry, like, when Nell was talking to everybody, in the Red Room, and then I teared up again at the end when it was revealed that the dad was dead. See, that was another thing that was really confusing when, the girls left, and, his dad said that, "You guys go, me and your brother has to take care of something." And I'm like, why does Steven have to stay there? I don't really understand. I expected the dad to die. Or whatever. But then when he was like, I didn't understand why Steven had to stay. And then his dad's like, "Thank you for not telling them." And he's like, what did I see? And that's when I realized Dad must already be dead. But I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about Steven seeing. And then, because then it went through that whole thing with finding about Abigail and Hugh finding his wife and all that stuff. And I was like, how did Steven see any of this? I don't get it. But that whole thing about Steven seeing something was all about Steven having seen the father dead when they left. And the girls didn't see it, but he saw it. Right? And I guess his dad must have shown him what happened. Like with his mom and all that stuff. Because now Hill House is Steven's responsibility. So yeah, I don't know. But at the end we saw Steven talking to his wife, trying to reconcile, and we saw Shirley confessing to her husband, and we saw Theo moving out of her sister's guest house, and she was with her girlfriend. I guess they were girlfriends, like officially now. And I don't know where she moved to. I don't know if they like moved in together or what was going on there. But we also saw, I think, in 2 years or a year and a half or whatever into the future, where they were celebrating Luke. I think they were celebrating Luke's 2-year anniversary of being sober, is going to be my guess. Because on the cake it said 1 day at a time. Well, you couldn't see the whole thing, but I assume that is what it said. With the 2 on it. So I think that was a sobriety thing. And Shirley and her husband are still together, it looks like. Theo was still with her girlfriend, and Steven and his wife were together, and she was pregnant. So, yeah. So, I mean, I guess it was sort of a happy ending. It was still very confusing, though. Like, I didn't even know, like, with the mom, I didn't know if that was really the mom, or that was just a creature in the house acting like the mom. Because she kept talking about, them not being safe, and her husband taking them and putting them in the world where they were hurt and all that stuff. Well, that's part of life. So, whatever. But so it was just really confusing. I didn't know if it was her and she was still kind of nutty from what happened, toward the end of her life, or it wasn't her and they were just like playing on his feelings. But turned out, from what I guess, it was her, and Hugh kind of, I guess, helped her because he had to convince her to let the children go because she was the one keeping them locked up in the red room. So yeah, I don't know. It was still a great finale. I really enjoyed the series. I look forward to whatever season 2 is going to be about. I can't promise on when I will actually watch that because I got a lot of other shows that I'm watching right now, and I'll be starting. I think I'm starting Once Upon a Time next after this. I have 2 shows that were voted for, and I can't remember which one I had decided to do first, but I think it was Once Upon a Time. I think. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, sorry I was super quiet during the finale, but I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction anyway. If you did, please give this video a like. If you have any suggestions on anything you'd like me to react to, please leave that down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.